All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of July the 10th, 2023. Brian and Michaela here with you as always. And Michaela, it's been real hot here in North and South Carolina, respectively. Not a big fan of it. We totally skipped spring this year. It went from like 60 degrees to like 160 degrees overnight. And there's only one way to deal with this kind of heat, and that's with the spritz.
Yeah, no, that's true. We had a month or two of monsoonish kind of weather. It was like
That's true.
really
Yeah,
weird
it went from cold and wet
rain.
to hot and wet.
It was part England, part, like tropics. I don't know. It was very strange.
It was.
But the good thing is that now, well, I don't know if it's a good thing. The sun is out. The sun's been out for a week. I am completely sunburned. It's 130,000 degrees out. There's no end to this in sight. Hopefully Mother Nature gets the memo that this truly can only be like a summer thing, and we have a fall. So we'll have to circle back in September and hopefully the temperature will drop. So I'm looking forward to this only being a 7-week thing. We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. But I got to tell you, when you came to me and said, I found this amazing drink, Michaela, you're going to love it. I was like, let me guess. It's pink and it has elderflower in it. And you were like, well,
Yeah,
I'm
you were
one
half
for
right.
two.
You were half right. You were half right. Yeah.
But you have the secret ingredient, which is some mint,
Mm,
which is amazing and so useful when you're trying to cool off. I don't know what it is about the biological concoction of mint, right? But people put mint in ice cream, and even when you add it to chocolate, for whatever reason, it's very refreshing, which is weird because chocolate not refreshing. It's just this
You have it with
decadence-y,
lamb.
right?
You
You have it with
yeah,
lamb, like
and you have it in this cocktail today. It is refreshing, and I was drinking a bunch of these over the 4th of July because it was hot as it was like the hottest days in like recorded history for our planet, which is scary. But I also was able to have a couple of Aperol Spritzes, which is always a good time. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. We're making a variation on it called the Hugo Spritz. But before we get into that, Michaela, let's talk about the Spritz a little bit. So basically, your standard Spritz recipe is pretty simple. You can follow this. You can throw kind of whatever ingredients in here because the proportions are really the key here. So you're going to go 3 parts of prosecco, 2 parts of a bitter liqueur. Aperol or Campari are like the classic ones. They're obviously the Aperol Spritz. But you can use like Chinar. You can use any sort of other bitter liqueur that you want. You could probably even use like some sort of like cordial liqueur if you wanted to go like a fruitier route. That would be delicious. And then some club soda, 1 part of club soda to that to get it really nice and extra effervescent-y. And it's delicious. It is refreshing. It is perfect. Think of yourself sitting outside. You're in Florence, Italy, at a cafe, having an Aperol Spritz, watching the world go by. And the Aperol Spritz recently turned 100. This was born in 1919. Aperol was created, invented, packaged, and sold in 1919. Thus was born the Aperol Spritz. And there's a lot of different spritzes. And as I mentioned, we're talking Hugo Spritz today.
Yeah. Yeah, this is amazing. And you were so right when you found this. It is right up my alley. So we're going to start with half an ounce of Saint Germain, or really, it doesn't have to be Saint Germain. Saint Germain happens to be in this beautiful bottle, and it's one of the most expensive elderflower liqueurs out there. But let's be honest, find another beautiful bottle. There's many out there. It doesn't have to be Saint Germain. Half an ounce of that. You want a sprig of mint.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, do you slap this mint?
You do. You
Mac it?
give it a
What
give it
do
a
they
wee
call it?
you give it a wee bit of a slap. Yeah, you're going to express it a little bit. So the trick to doing this is you're going to take your half ounce of Saint Germain and 1 sprig of this mint and put it in your wine glass and give it a little bit of a muddle with your muddler in the glass and just let it sit for a couple minutes. That's going to infuse the elderflower and mint, get you good to go. Like I said, let it sit for a couple of minutes, then fill up your glass with some ice, and then you're going to go with the rest of your ingredients.
Right. And the rest of the ingredients are 4 ounces of Prosecco, any kind of Prosecco you want. And then an ounce of your club soda or just sparkling water. I recommend club soda just because it's going to have that little bit of extra sodium that I think is going to kind of pop nicely. But I mean,
Yep.
it's up to you. And then, of course, you want to garnish it. You want to make it pretty. And you can do that with like a slice of lemon, or you can do that with some more mint. But then you're going to drink this and you are going to love it. Well, I don't know. I say that. I love this. This is definitely like my go-to summer drink, probably until the end of time.
Yes.
We have talked a lot this summer about all of our favorite summer drinks here at Drink the Movies. We've done a lot of things that are like very strawberry or peachish. This is none of those. It's so easy. I've got all the ingredients pretty much all the time. It's a win-winner for me. And it's no Aperol in it, but it's very reminiscent of the Aperol Spritz.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of lighter. It's a little bit more flowery, obviously, from the elderflower, which is delicious. So definitely give this a try. If you wanted to go like a mocktail route with that, you could probably get pretty close. There's a lot of really good elderflower sodas out there now. Fenneman's makes one, I know. Belvoir, I think is how you pronounce that. They make one. There's a couple of them at the grocery store, so you could probably grab one of those and then maybe mix it with a bit of sparkling lemonade or just some extra kind of club soda, and that mint component would be a really nice kind of mocktail or virgin version of this Hugo Spritz. So give that a try, help you beat the heat, and it would be an excellent cocktail. If you're sitting around outside, or if you're sitting around at home watching a movie, that's probably what you should be doing. If you're headed out to the movie theater to see something, I don't know what it was going to be because we're recording this early. This week we had Joyride and Insidious. The Red Door came out this past weekend. We'll have to see how those fare. Patrick Wilson is directing the third installment of Insidious here. That's going to be his directorial debut. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson, he's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's like the new king of all things horror, right? He's been in like 85 horror films. He's been in the Insidious, he's been in all the Conjurings, the Annabelles. He was in that one, it was like an indie film. Maybe it wasn't indie. Maybe it just went direct to video, but it was called In the Tall Grass. I don't know if you saw that, but that was creepy AF. It was very creepy. And he was in it. I mean, he's just amazing. And he's done some other really cool stuff. I loved him in Angels in America. That was probably the first time I ever saw him. That's a really great 5-hour miniseries. I don't know if it really is considered a miniseries, but I think it's in 2 parts. So it's a 2-part series. Anyway, he's amazing. So I'm actually really excited because I love scary movies. I know this is not your thing, Brian, but I love it so much. So now I feel like I need to go rewatch the first 2. Because they all sort of start to run together. But I have heard that this is supposed to be the absolute scariest film of the Insidious trilogy.
Oh, okay, well there you go. Go check that out. Go check out Joyride. Go check out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. That's going to be coming into its second week, so we'll have to check back in on the box office for that next time we get together for a lobby bar. But it's funny you mentioned that 5-hour miniseries because we've basically got a 5-hour film miniseries coming our way this weekend, Michaela. I think we have plans to talk about it on the podcast, but that is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. 2 hours and 45 minutes of Tom Cruise motorcycle goodness, but I don't know, pretty exciting stuff. This is going to be the 7th installment for Mr. Cruise playing what's the guy's name?
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt. That's right. Bring it on, Ethan Hunt. I will say this about Mission Impossible. I think I've seen the first 2, although the third one has Philip Seymour Hoffman in it, and I feel like I remember seeing that, so maybe I saw the first 3. I don't know for sure, but I will say this. This could be a hot take, but I think it's the right take. The Mission Impossible theme is probably the best theme of all time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I mean, everybody knows it. Even my son is like humming it. And, throughout this last week, he really wants to see this 7th film. Here's the thing about the Mission Impossible films.
Does he hum it when he's doing something like that he should definitely not be doing?
Yes, absolutely. He's literally like, the last time I heard him do it, he was in my pantry crawling up the shelves like a ladder.
Shelves. Yeah.
Right? Trying to get to the Oreo cookies that we thought we were smart and we hid them in the very back. But he's just like, do. And then of course he can whistle now and I can't whistle. So I'm a little jealous, but he's like, And then when he gets it, he's like, success. And it's
Yeah,
so funny.
the Oreos were the mission that he chose to accept. So
That's right. That's right. I mean, there was no dynamite involved, but yeah. I mean, who doesn't want it's so they're so fun. Um and the fact that this one features a real Tom Cruise really going over a real cliff like 8 times to get these shots are
yeah.
insane. If you've not seen that extended preview, go look it up. It's going to make you excited to see Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 for sure.
That's right, absolutely. So that's coming our way this week. So we're going to be heading out to the theater to see that. We'll have to find out if there's going to be any Dead Reckoning cocktails at the theater. Might check that out on our Patreon. It's patreon.com/drink the movies. We just did one of those last week for some Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny cocktails. Did that before we went and saw that, and that was our main show last week. This week on the main show, something very similar to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Noise is off. That's going to be a big, exuberant time for sure. So make sure you tune into the main show this week to check that out. But for now, Michaela, we're not headed into a movie because I'm headed out of town. That's why we're recording this early. So I got to pack my bags. I got to grab myself some ingredients to make a Hugo Spritz when I get where I land, and I'll be all set. So have a great weekend out there. Go see a movie, and we'll talk to everyone next time in the lobby bar.